Very
Yes,
good.
sir.
So here is a very small point, that is, so disk types like basic and dynamic disk. Okay, basic and dynamic disk types. So understanding of dynamic disk, this one small point is there for understanding of RAID. So RAID is completely different topic. To create a RAID levels, dynamic disk concept we should understand. Okay. So for that one, just I'm telling this. And also that's it. Okay. So then we'll go to the RAID concept. This is only 10-15 minutes topic only. Then we'll go to the RAID. RAID or RAID. Some people use say RAID and some. Okay. So what is this? Basic disk and dynamic disk. Both are disk only, nothing difference is there. So if the disk is basic disk, you create a partitions, means you virtually divide the disk into small parts. Like if it is a 500 GB disk, then you create like this is 100 GB, this is 50 GB, this is 220 GB, this is 50 GB, like that. You create a partition, the remaining you can also do that. Okay. So we created a partitions and we dedicate one. You can also install the operating system also. The basic disk, we divide. Basic disks are used for storing to installing operating system. And you can also create a partition. Means you can divide a single physical disk into multiple partitions or multiple volumes you are created. We can store the different data into other disks. Okay, this is simple basic disk. Then what is the dynamic disk? You have a disk. Again, it come back to your LBM concept only. So what is dynamic disk? Dynamic disk. So I have a disk, like this is a disk 1, disk 2, disk 3. This is disk 0. Disk 0 is a basic disk. So I installed an operating system and also I created some partition for to store my other data. Simple. Then I attach some disks. Then I make to it one as a disk 1, disk 2, disk 3 are added. I convert this disk into dynamic disk. What is the purpose? Example, this is a 1 terabyte of disk. This is 1 terabyte of disk, for example. And I want this 1 terabyte of disk, not enough. It's already it contains some data, so it is not enough to store my data. My data is now again going to increase. One second, again, we'll see. Okay. So you have 1 terabyte of storage, already 800 GB filled, 200 GB available, and it is connected like this to some service, some download folder connected. Some data is storing from remotely. Data is coming to this continuous. So earlier only 600 GB. Now it is 800 GB. Next is 900. Next is 1000. Completed. So you can't put a more data in it. What to do? You have to remove this disk. Put a larger disk. Put a 2 terabytes of disk, or maybe 4 terabytes of disk. Okay. Copy all this data to the new disk and map your data, incoming data is to this new disk. Then it will be filled. But after some days, this storage also can be finished, possible. And the risk is while connecting new disks and copying the data from old disk to here, it will take time. Meanwhile, this time, data access will be lost. Data access loss, data loss, then there is a SLA violations. Means there is an issue with your company. So clients will get problem. Okay. So then what is the solution? So you can able to increase its size. If possible, if you increase the total volume size to the 2 terabyte or a 4 terabyte without moving the data or without um, changing your complete disk, if it is possible, then it is good now. Then it is good. So you do it LV extend. I guess done LV extend, right? So initially you take a LV extend, for example, 20 GB have taken. Then you increase 20 GB to 30 GB in LVM, right?
Yes, sir.
Very good. So that
Yes,
is
sir.
a here. You see that one. Very good. Now it's a concept is like I want to combine these days together. So then total space I will get it 2 terabyte. Maybe in a future that is not enough. Then I will combine this also. Then it is become 3 terabyte. Okay. So you have a PVs. Two PVs you have taken and you created some 2 terabytes and your volume like that, like you are adding more physical volume, then your volume group increases. Same way, similar to, it's different but similar, little similar but different. Okay. So here also we are adding more disks and we increase the volumes without changing, without moving anything. This concept we call it as stripped volume. Okay. In another one, spanned volume is also there. Stripped volume or spanned volume. Difference is in the spanned volume, you can take different sizes of volume sizes. Like you take 500, you can take 1 terabyte, 2 terabyte. Like this, you can combine different volumes together and create a large volume. That is spanned volume. In stripped volume, compulsory same size is required, like 1 terabyte, 1 terabyte, 1 terabyte only. Like this. You can combine 2 or more disks logically and create a large volumes. That is called a redundancy purpose and gaining more space. Two options. Either you'll gain more space or redundancy purpose. Redundancy means if one disk is failure, other disk will be provided services. Either, either one you choose it. Either you want a more disk space or redundancy purpose only. Okay, or both. Both are also possible. Or and both. Either you want more space or if one disk is failure, other disk is still the data is available. That's a redundancy purpose. Or you want both. We use this volume concept. Stripped volumes or spanned volumes, mirror volume concept. Okay. Write 5 volume, write 6 volume, write 10, write 50 volumes concept we follow. So you want to combine one, two or more disks together, two or more disks together. Logically, these disks must be dynamic disk. Basic disk we can't connect, we can't combine. You have to convert the basic disk to dynamic disk, then only we can able to combine. So you have to convert the basic disk to dynamic disk, then only we can combine these disks together. Two or more disks you want to combine and create large volumes or for redundancy purpose or both. You have to convert the basic disk to dynamic disk. Okay, that's a dynamic disk. If it is dynamic disk, then only you can combine. Then what is again basic disk? We forget basic disk while telling all these stories. What is a basic disk? It's a regular disk only. It's the same disk, same disk. If it is a basic disk, You can create a partition, means you can logically divide the disk into small drives. You can able to install the operating system into the basic disk also. Okay. But in a dynamic disk means you convert a disk into dynamic. So you can combine the disks together. We can create a redundancy, means a mirror volume types. If one disk failure, other disk, still we can able to access that. So we can combine the disk logically and creating large volumes at redundancy purpose. And so mainly we use this dynamic disk for data storage purpose, not for a operating system. Generally, data storage purpose, we follow the dynamic disk. To create a volumes like a stripped volume, spanned volumes, mirror volume, write 5, write 6, write 10, write 50 volumes. To get these volumes, you have to convert the disk into dynamic disk. So dynamic disk support that one. Basic disk, initialized for basic storage. Different default storage for Windows operating system. Any OS you can able to store. So for OS, basic disk. For data, to huge amount data, write data like that, you do it like redundancy data you want it. So then we convert the basic disk to dynamic disk. Okay. Without restarting the Windows system, we can convert basic to dynamic. To convert basic disk to dynamic disk, you need to restart your system. Okay. We can convert basic disk to dynamic disk, but we cannot convert dynamic to basic disk. Reverse is not there. You can't convert basic to dynamic. To convert from basic to dynamic, while partitions are available, while disk partitions are created, like this stage is there. So there is already disk partitions are created and there is a data. In that time also you can convert from basic to dynamic. But you want to convert from basic to dynamic. Dynamic to basic. You want to convert dynamic to basic. You have to remove all the partitions. What are the partitions you created? All these partitions has to be removed. And if it is volumes are created, it has to be removed. Then the disk will become basic disk. Okay. Directly from basic to dynamic, we can create it. Even partitions are created, data is occupied. We can convert basic to dynamic directly without restarting, without losing data. But you want to convert from dynamic to basic directly. If already partitions or volumes are created, data is available. So you can't convert into dynamic to basic. To convert dynamic to basic, you have to remove everything. You have to delete all the partitions, volumes. Of course, while deleting, data also lost. If you lost everything, then we convert dynamic to basic. If you lost only, we can able to convert. Not in the process. Okay. We cannot convert dynamic to basic without data loss. To combine two or more physical disks into a large volume, we need to convert basic to dynamic disk. These dynamic disks provide several options for configuring volumes: span, strip, mirror, write 5, write 6, write 10, write 50, understand. Disk volume requirements include system volume, hardware, specified request, start server. This is forget about. Okay, this is basic and dynamic kind of stuff. Where is that server? It's in another system. It's server 2025, guys. I added 100 GB hard disk to it. Later, I will show you how to add more hard disk. Just only 100 disk I'm added. Oh, this column. Disable site mitigation without virtualization. You have to remove some options in it. Processor, unselect this option. Okay. Here, select this option. Disable side channel mitigation. If you got mitigation as well. I installed this 2025 server so many days back. So obviously, by this time, the license will be expired. So we use generally um, evolution versions. So obviously, license will be expired. Even I try install Windows 11 also. Let it boot. I will show you how to convert from basic to dynamic. Let it boot. Okay. See, so little different from only that look is little different, guys. Like Windows 10 to Windows 11, the look is the different. Same thing for servers also. I don't know which server you know also. Oh, Alt Control Set admin at the rate 123. Incorrect. What happened? Ah, I got it. The typing column. Yeah, at the rate is not working, right? One, two, three. Just what we need is at the rate. At the rate won't come. Wait 1 second, I will log in. Uh, So luckily we are both are in the same floor nearby, not very nearby. After very long time, I'm using this system, including the physical system also. In this physical system, I installed different applications. This is VM backup software. Okay, and GNS3, Docker, PyCharm, VirtualBox, UiPath, MS SQL Server, like that. So many I installed. Let's say system is also slower. Yeah, it's open. It is still showing a Windows license valid for 44 days. The latest version of Windows Server support Windows Admin Center, Azure Org, means hybrid cloud purpose. So Windows physical servers and Azure. But we don't need anything. Just what we need is storage management to this disk management. It is slow, guys. Why one of the reason is 2 GB RAM. You can manage it from this server manager, but I like to show you from disk management. Okay. What to do? Go to the search or run. I like run. DASK mgmt.msc. Go to run. Type disk mgmt disk mgmt.msc for disk management. It's really behaving differently. Here there is a window not showing proper. Again open. Very good. So better I have to use the 4 GB RAM. Physical machine is a 16 GB RAM, where available is 5 points, so we can increase the RAM capacity. Next time we do that one because when we do the ride, so compulsory we required as well. Guys, are you able to see this thing, right? Disk management part, disk 0, disk 1. Yeah, very good. So it is offline. Disk is attached, 100 GB disk attached. That is SCSI disk attached. It is showing offline. Now, first of all, I make it online. Test server. And it is showing not initialized. Then what I have to do? I have to initialize the disk. So right click, initialize the disk. And you can initialize as a MBR or GPT, no problem. Just I kept it GPT only. Click OK. Now disk is become GPT disk. Now disk is online. It is initialized as a GPT. If you want to convert, you can convert into MBR also. Now it is showing basic. See, disk 0 basic, disk 1 is also basic. And this disk 1, I will use it for combining this disk to another disk. So if I want another disk, then I have to go to VM settings and attaching one more hard disk. You can take any size of the hard disk. Maybe 100 GB, you can take it. Maybe 60 GB will give it. So later, I will add 300 GBs later. So this is another disk I attached. Just SCSI, no problem. So online again, initialize. This is not initialize. Why it is making me cry? Get slow. I don't want this one. Uh, hmm? Yeah, it is now asking initialize the disk 2. Okay, as a GPT. Now disk 1, disk 2, both are basic disk only. Now I want to combine these two disks together. So, so one disk is 100 GB, second disk is 60 GB. So before I'm combining using spanned volume is for combining two disks and you can gain more volume. Two or more disks you can combine, then you can gain more volume. Okay. It's not required to be same volume size. 100, not required. 160, no problem. 100, you can combine. 160 also you can combine. 100, 200 you can combine. 100 and 1 terabyte also you can combine. So if you want to combine, it has to be converted into dynamic. Which disk you want to convert into dynamic? Both disk 1 and disk 2 I want to combine. Not to disk 0. Disk 0 contains an operating system. So I don't want to convert into dynamic. That too, again I want to reconvert back to the basic. I lost the data. Click. Did I select a OK or cancel? Convert into dynamic. If it is in my system, it won't take that much time, but my system does not have space and the machine. uh, okay, I will go there and I will do it and just watch it. Okay. Both are dynamic, showing dynamic. But once it is converted into dynamic, it will show like this, converted into this. This is a dynamic disk. You can also use the command prompt to manage the disk using diskpart, and also you can use a diskpart command to query, like whether it is basic disk or dynamic disk also. Both we can do it. But GUI mod is quite easy, quite better. Okay. So now it is dynamic. Now I want to combine these two disks. Okay. As a spanned value. The problem is not my mouse or remote access. The problem is system. Mainly this mission. Spanned value. In case I can show you a simple volume also. First of all, I will create a simple volume. Uh, it is what is my plan and what is I am doing. Convert into basic. And I connected to net, it's okay, good. But still the problem is, after long time we are open the system, that too it is connected to the internet, either directly or through NAT. Backend updates also causes slow down your system. So I'll increase my RAM to 2, for 2 to 4. So then we'll see. One more problem now. So we don't want work with the at the rate. Again, wait for 1 second. Okay. You have to wait for another 2 minutes for some response. I think I installed this. Server has to run. I don't need this one. I don't need this one also. What I need is a disk management. See, actually your disk 0 is your basic disk, and disk 1, disk 2 is dynamic disk, right? And disk 0 is actual disk. But after restart, it changes their pattern automatically. Depends upon the system. And again, if I restart, it maybe changes into different pattern. Okay. The reasons and all we don't go. Okay. So that's why when you are using FS tab, okay, you want to mount in the FS tab, you use UUID, BLKID command. Then you got the UUID, and you use UUID to mount your partition to the um, your your mount point, your folder. Okay, because we can't trust disk 0, disk 1, same or not like that. Okay. So, why that much psycho is the mouse right click, left click, right click is working, left click option is not selected. From tomorrow onwards, I will sit near to the server. Just wait, I will convert into basic. And what I'm going to do is, guys, just I convert both disk into basics again. Again, in a disk 0, I will create some partitions. Then we'll see. So what I am doing, just observe. And I will use the span volume to combine these two disks. Okay. Just see, I'm going to that system. Okay. So finally, I convert both are into the basics, and I created this 100 volume as a single volume, and it is 100 GB volume it is. Okay. So here you can see this is E drive. In the E drive, this is 100 GB volume. We kept some data also. Okay. Example, this is about to finish. It's 80 GB volume already done. I have to store some more 30, 40 GB extra. Now 100 GB is not enough. I want to increase my 100 GB to something around 150 GB like that. How to do it? We can't increase physically a disk. So we can combine the disk to other disk and then we can increase it, right? So to do that one, first I have to convert the disk, which disk you want to combine. So then that disk you have to convert into dynamic. Okay. This is another formula, right? So same thing. Disk 0, disk 1. So I converting both the disk into dynamic. So convert. So I'm converting only one disk. Then I will connect individual disk. So while converting this operation, select convert basic disk to dynamic disk. If you convert the disk to dynamic, you will not able to start install operating system from any volume on the disk. Means in the dynamic disk, you can't install OS. That's why OS content disk you should not convert into dynamic. In case in future again you are going to install OS, you can't do it. And in the dynamic disk, you can't install the OS. Simple. Except the current boot volume, you are able to continue. Yes. So I'm converting this disk to dynamic. Now this basic is become dynamic. You see the color changes also. This volume, the simple volume, and the color is dynamic because it's a dynamic. Okay. Now I want to combine this 100 GB to this 1 terabyte. Again, this is also should be converted into dynamic, or while configuring span, you can able to specify it. This is same problem. Can get extended volume and dynamic volume. Earlier it is working now. Just before it is working. Now it is working. Again, just watch guys. Just I'm going to convert this disk 1 to dynamic. Then I will combine this disk 0, disk 1 in a spanned volume. Then we will see the total volume size. See the E drive size it is showing now 100 GB. Then it is, should be become 160 GB. I will go and convert and come back. It's a punishment for me and you. That is the reasons from here, mouse volume and also I told update volume. See this red color, compulsory I have to update. Okay. Guys, what I have done, I went to the disk 1, right click, convert into dynamic, it convert into dynamic. Okay. Next, what I have done, I went to this place, I click on the extend volume. While extend volume, I selected this 60 GB free space from disk 1. Then I added to the my existing volume. Now what has happened? See, it is a E drive. This is also E drive. Both are E drive. This is 100 GB E drive. This is 60 GB E drive. Then what is your total E drive? Click on this PC. See, what is your total E drive? Showing 160 GB. It is 160 GB. Of course, 159 it is showing. And you didn't lose the data also. So data is same. The data is still there. What is the E drive data is still there. So you can able to store up to 160 GB. This is called a span volume. We can do this span volume in normal desktop system also. We can do it. Okay. Again, what is the purpose of this span volume? Okay. You can combine two or more disks together and gain full value. Okay. Again, okay. So you can extend your value. Oh, so many downloads are there. Even it is currently downloading. So many are pending. Downloading. That's it. So one of the reason it is slower. Second is remote access mouse parlor. Understand. But we need this machine to show you the remaining ride levels. Okay. Finally, guys, the basic and dynamic. If you convert into dynamic, then you can combine the disk, and I showed you how to create a span volume. But these volumes, script, mirror, write file, these are all main RAID configuration files. So this we're going to discuss because it is very, very important for your storage. Okay. So if just machine is not cooperated, at least we'll cover the theory part. So when it is there is when I sit near to that one, so then I will show it to you the total practical part. Okay, first we'll go through the theories, then I will show you how to create the ride and test the ride kind of concept. Okay. What we will do, take a break, guys. Let's take a small break. Okay. Then we will discuss the ride. If you understand basic and dynamic,